One bright, sunny morning deep in the jungle, a mighty roar echoed through the trees. It was Leon the lion, and he had a fantastic idea. He called his best pals, Al the alligator and Freddy the fox. "Hey, you too!" he boomed with a giant, excited grin. "What to say? We take a road trip this weekend? Let's go visit Peter the penguin in the Arctic!" Al and Freddy cheered. An adventure to the freezing cold Arctic sounded like the best plan ever. Without wasting a moment, the three friends dashed over to Leon's enormous jungle mansion garage. And what a sight it was. Lined up perfectly were three of the shiniest, most beautiful Lamborghinis you've ever seen. One was a fiery red, one a brilliant yellow, and the last a vibrant green. Leon, always bold and brave, hopped into the red one. Al, with his long snout and cool style, took the yellow. And Freddy, quick and clever, slid smoothly into the green Lamborghini. With a simultaneous, deafening roar of their powerful engines, the adventure began. The three supercars shot off down the jungle road, their colors gleaming like jewels under the warm morning sun. They drove for hours and hours, the scenery zipping by in a blur of green. The wind whipped through their fur and scales as they laughed and playfully raced each other down the long, winding roads. Leon would speed ahead, then Al would catch up, with Freddy expertly weaving between them. It was a parade of color and speed. After a while, they noticed their fuel gauges were getting low. "Time for a pit stop!" called Al. They pulled into a friendly gas station where they filled up their hungry car tanks to the very brim, making sure they had enough fuel for the long journey ahead. All that driving had made them super hungry, so their next stop was a classic roadside diner with a big, friendly sign. They found a comfy booth and looked at the menu. Al, a true connoisseur of seafood, ordered a delicious plate of fish. Freddy, who loved a good classic, chose a tall, tasty sandwich packed with all his favorite things. And Leon? Well, Leon was starving. He ordered a giant plate of spaghetti, twirling the noodles on his fork with a happy grin. They ate and chatted, enjoying their hearty meal and the rest from the road. With full bellies and high spirits, they hopped back into their amazing cars. North to the Arctic, Freddy shouted, and they sped off once more. As the day turned into evening, the world outside their windows began to change. The lush green jungle gave way to plains, then forests, and finally, the air grew colder. And then they saw it. On the horizon, under the soft, glowing twilight sky, was a vast expanse of sparkling white. The Arctic. It was more beautiful than they had ever imagined. Their three Lamborghinis, looking like colorful gems against the snow, crunched softly as they rolled up to a cozy-looking igloo. The headlights cut through the chilly air, lighting up the front door. Just then, the door opened, and out waddled Peter the penguin, flapping his flippers with joy. "Welcome, friends. You made it!" he called out with a huge, happy smile. Come in! Come in! Dinner is ready!" He led them inside his surprisingly warm and spacious igloo. The inside of the igloo was a warm, welcoming haven from the cold. A fire crackled merrily in the corner, and the smell of delicious food filled the air. Peter had prepared a magnificent feast for his tired travelers. There was perfectly grilled fish, steaming bowls of hot, savory soup, and loaves of fresh, warm bread. They all sat down together, sharing stories of their incredible drive and listening to Peter's tales of life in the Arctic. Laughter filled the igloo as they ate and talked, their friendship warming them even more than the fire. They shared stories and jokes until their eyes grew heavy, and they snuggled into cozy beds Peter had made for them, ready for a good night's sleep. The next morning, the sun glistened on the fresh snow, making the whole world sparkle. After a yummy breakfast, Peter had another adventure planned. "Let's go ice fishing," he announced. He led them to a huge, frozen lake that looked like a giant sheet of glass. Working together, they carefully cut a hole in the thick ice. They dropped their fishing lines into the dark, icy water below and waited patiently. It wasn't long before Leon felt a tug. With a mighty pull, he reeled in the very first fish of the day. Everyone cheered. A little while later, Al, using all his strength, pulled out the biggest fish they had ever seen. And then, quick as a flash, Freddy caught a zippy little fish that darted around on the ice. They laughed and celebrated their successful catch, feeling very proud of their teamwork. After their exciting morning of fishing, they returned to the igloo for a big lunch. Followed by another delicious dinner, cooked by Peter, they spent the rest of the day playing games in the snow and enjoying the peaceful beauty of the Arctic. That night, they slept soundly, dreaming of their wonderful adventures together. When the sun rose on their final day, it was time to say goodbye. It was a sad moment, but their hearts were full of happy memories. Leon, Al, and Freddy gave Peter a great big hug, promising to visit again soon. "Thank you for everything, Peter," they said. Then it was time to head home. They climbed back into their red, yellow, and green Lamborghinis. With a final, cheerful honk of their horns, they waved goodbye to Peter and began the long drive back to the jungle. The journey home was just as fun, filled with more laughter and stories about their trip. Finally, after many hours, the familiar sight of the jungle mansion came into view. They were home, tired but incredibly happy. They parked the 3 Lamborghinis safely back in Leon's grand garage. The cars stood side by side, their bright colors shining, a testament to their amazing journey. The road trip had been long, but the friendship and memories they created were priceless. They had shared laughter, thrilling adventure, and the wonderful warmth of friendship treasures that they would keep in their hearts forever. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible adventure with Leon, Al, and Freddy. We hope you loved it as much as we did. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more amazing tailies. We can't wait to see you on the next adventure. Bye for now!